The storm had undone much of the previous week's work. Dead had reclaimed the gas station to the south, blown in from the surrounding areas. As winter approached, Mother Nature would continue to become an even harsher mistress. To make things worse, our community had now grown so large, many survivors began standing still and refusing to follow orders. Concerned, I would need to find out how far this mutiny had spread. To my horror, it was global. Desperate, and unsure what else to do, I decided to kick useless Allison from the group, as an example to the others. She responded violently. Bitch. After all we had done together, confident I swung my axe, giving Allison the opening to hit my hand. Shocked by her speed, I then took a hit to the arm and groin. Bleeding out, in a mutinous space, being chased by a former ally. It was Lorraine who finally ended the madness. Badly injured and shaken from the last few moments, one thing was for sure. Working or not, I could not ask anyone else to leave, or my life would be forfeit. Troubled by the prospect of fixing our shattered community, I downed many painkillers and attempted to get some sleep. Only a day ago, this bed felt safe. Now, I was surrounded by potential killers. Feeling it was best to distance myself from the group, I headed to Twiggy's with Doc Diane for treatment. Checking my wounds, she made clear how close to death I had come. Truly rogue survivors were the biggest threat to us now. At least Diane was still loyal. And that was something. Wandering over to Spiffo's, the strange survivor behavior continued. The madness was not limited to our group. Scared for my life, and fearing more injuries would come from this unpredictable situation, clearing the pharmacy and laundromat to the north became a priority. Facing the realization that the community, and all other survivors for that matter, could have broken down completely, a new plan began to form. One where my fate would be my own to decide. heading home for a quick nap. With plenty of witnesses, I made sure to set an alarm. Still uncertain who to trust, sleeping too long could be dangerous. Getting back to the plan. The second thing we would need is fuel, and lots of it. Stealing the gas, I couldn't help but wonder what was happening in Texas right now. Had other survivors secured the oil fields? Without power, was an oil field useful? Were the oil fields still even there? I would need a vehicle to find out. Returning home with the gas just in time, we heard our first warning on the emergency broadcast station. Fluctuations had been detected in the NOx power grid. We didn't have long left now. And I still had no idea how to work a generator. Wanting to wash our clothes one last time before we lost power altogether, I ventured to the laundromat again to see about stealing a washing machine for the base. Determining I did not have the electrical skill required to move it, I began looting. Logan's battle dance will haunt me forever. After his shove it all happened so fast. Panicking, unable to find the exit. Slowly, it clicked. This was Logan's base. That was Logan's things. Logan wanted me dead. Quickly bugging Logan, with a zoom save, I desperately tried to find a way out before Sean joined the fight and they sealed my fate. Bleeding out, and covered in injuries, I was certain my time had come. How could anyone survive these wounds? Returning home, barely alive, I gathered what fuel oil followers I had for protection. Adding insult to injury, we received the second warning for the power grid. We needed the How to Use Generators book, but I was far too hurt to go looting again, let alone get payback on Logan. With every day, death came ever closer. How many more days like this could we survive? Deciding it was best to stay clear of the violence consuming the city center, I started the 26th with a walk through the nearby neighborhoods. Watching Catherine walk straight into my horde, I was reminded of simpler times. Killing zombies in those early days felt like a lifetime ago, and I was desperately in need of a win after being beaten within an inch of my life by Logan. It was time for a fire. Shockingly, returning to an old burn site, a flaming zombie was already chilling, making the whole lot a breeze. Meeting Robin in the field, hope started to return. Perhaps some of the survivors had not yet broken down by this point. Perhaps even, they may come back and see sense. As it stood, alone, I could only just about kill a zombie one-on-one, let alone in the small groups they roamed in. Fire had now become my crutch, supporting me while my injuries healed, and slowing any progress toward vengeance. Feeling good after a tasty burn, I returned to the plan. We needed a good condition vehicle, and a way to start it. quite quickly I realized one of those things would be easier to find than the other. Unable to find keys, hot wiring would now be necessary, which in turn meant reading up on and practicing electronics. While reading, I found a map indicating the location of another survivor group. This would work as my escape plan if things went down in the West Point Gigamart, which was almost certainly to happen based on the last 3 days. Healed up, on the 27th I made a fresh push to clear the bookstore to the west and prayed for a copy of How to Use Generators. While routinely kiting the dead around the burn site, survivor Samantha caught my eye. She seemed eager to fight the flaming dead. An unwise move at the best of times. By the time I looked back, she was on fire. Calmly walking toward the horde, I was impressed by her composure as she continued to fight the dead and douse the flames that had engulfed her. What an absolute legend. If we lived through this, I wanted her at my side. Leaving the base, 2 dead had snuck up to the back door, nearly managing to bite me. With the guards refusing to work, and Mutiny still fermenting, I could not help but wonder. Was this an attempt to take me out of the picture? Paranoia consuming me, I headed to the bookstore. As much for the books, as to flee the ever-increasing dangers of the base. Searching frantically for how to use generators. Tension rose with each shelf. Until at last, on the final shelf, we bloody found it. Finally, our prayers had been answered. And just in time. The grid had failed, and power was now out. Anomalous activity in Sector 26 was the last transmission sent before the blackout. Activating the generators would be the only way to survive the winter now. Thus, we began reading. And got to work. We now had renewable water, food, fuel, and power, making us fully self-sufficient. I hoped this win would reunify the community, and restore faith in my leadership. God knows. We damn well needed it. Day 20 started with celebrations. I figured a good meal was the best way to demonstrate how far we had come together, using all the resources it had taken weeks to establish. With any luck, they may even get back to work. Confident, Stuart and Martin joined me in scouting the Thunder Gas to the west. It was good to have allies again. While placing the generator, we heard shots to the south. Angering the local zombies. We would have to work fast, before they drew the whole city here. It was good to be fighting as a unit again. Despite our best efforts, the situation was slowly getting out of hand. I sounded the retreat, cursing whoever it was that had made so much noise. Hopefully, they died a slow, painful death, far from those they loved. Quickly returning to base, I dropped off Stuart and Martin, before sneaking back to the gas station solo to finish the run. After what turned out to be quite a few more zombies than expected, I was safe to proceed. Back at base, with a week's worth of gas, I settled in for a hardcore reading session. Electronic books with electronic beats. Living the dream. What a day. The day started with some much-needed cleaning. And restocking of farm supplies. Followed by some light cooking. The peace was broken when I heard a loud shot coming from Twiggy's. We were under attack. With the final Z down, I was exhausted. While resting, I began improving my mechanical knowledge. This would be vital to getting the local vehicles running and enabling us to explore the rest of the county. Returning to Twiggy's, I was surprised to see zombies still infesting the area. I would need to clear them out before looting more digital watches. Disassembling them would provide vital electrical knowledge.
I see you smile everywhere I go. You're the only thing I need, baby, let me know. Let me take the wheel, tell me where to go. Got me all up in my field, should've kept you close. Yeah, you did the most. They tell me that I changed, went on separate ways. I've been counting down the days till I can see your face. I see the smile, the shining lights, got me in a haze. You ain't fucking with the kid, you're fucking with the brain. Yeah, yeah.
With the area looted, the scale of the fight really set in. Where did the dead keep coming from? We would need to find out in the days to come. The day began by disassembling all the digital watches collected over the last few weeks. The knowledge would be vital to hot wiring vehicles.
I see you smile everywhere I go. You're the only thing I need, baby, let me know. Let me take the wheel, tell me where to go.
The next piece of the puzzle would be automotive tools. For these, we looted the car fixation mechanics shop to the west. Fully supplied, I began ripping cars apart for experience. The prerequisite skill required for repairs would take a long time to acquire. After another educational day, I settled in for some sleep, ready to repeat it all again tomorrow. Noticing my inventory had gotten full, I was overjoyed to see fresh crops had been harvested. I eagerly inspected the cabbage and froze the best samples. We would need these supplies to make it through the winter. Passing the farm, I was again impressed with our progress. Starvation could be taken off the list of dangers. Fairly sure I now knew what I was doing, I inspected the first truck I intended to steal. Noting it had a key in the ignition, no fuel was its only issue. An issue I could easily resolve. Victory. The second van was much the same. As was the third. All that reading had paid off. August is lining up to be a good month.